All right, everybody out there in the Craft Chest Nation, it's Craft Chest here, and this video here, I'm just making videos. I got to get these things pumped out. I was doing one or two a day. I was throwing anything and everything I could, cooking videos and all that, trying to keep up with T2, but it's getting harder and harder because he's doing like 6 and 7 and 8 a day, man. I don't know, searching for mushrooms and lost treasures and talking some crazy nonsense. No, for real, I ain't doing none of that. I just happened to watch a video the other time. I was like, what the hell is that? I'm just making videos. The same reason why everybody else is making extra videos. There ain't shit else to do at some point during the week or time. Plus, I had made a video a long time ago saying whenever I can, I'm going to be making more videos and more content with different areas. One of the things we put on hold, though, was my car audio projects. And there was a bunch of factors on why I stopped actually doing the car audio stuff, which we had a few videos and I just stopped. One of the biggest reasons is that mechanically I wanted to get my car right. And it's not like it had major issues. The engine, no problem whatsoever. But I had some suspension things that I wanted to get done. You may or may not know the car had a lowering kit that I put on the car when I first bought it. Full suspension kit with the torsion bars, upper and lower torsion, front and rear leveling kits for, springs and shocks and struts and all that good stuff. And that's been a good 12 years ago. And with the extra weight that I'm going to be putting on the vehicle, I thought it would be a good idea to actually put the stock springs back on it and jack it back up, because when you add all that audio weight to it, it's going to sink the car down some and it's going to level it back out anyway. And surprisingly, those springs were in the same box. The box was kind of ratty looking, but I took them out, had them in plastic, and they looked like they just came from the factory, because literally when I bought the car, that was the first thing I did was have the suspension. I had this idea back then, and the car looked amazing back in the day. Y'all can ask anybody and everybody that knew that car back then. It's nothing. The only thing wrong with the car right now is the paint job. That's it. Get the paint job squared away on the car, mechanically sound, still clean, inside and out. I mean, I had the seat covers. I had the neon lights, which the neon lights are still inside. They ain't on, but they're still in there, etc. and so forth. So fast forward to now, I wanted to get all that right. And in the meantime, I had an exhaust leak that I was trying to get pieces and parts for, because I didn't know how hard of a project it was going to be. And actually, I didn't realize how easy it was going to end up being. I didn't get any footage of that. And the main reason why is we were just chilling. JP from the Gods of Games actually helped me out with that. I went over to his place. He's got a concrete driveway and all that, so it made everything super simple. Sawzall was needed to actually cut the pipe back, because where the flange gasket or the flange hits the catalytic converter was fused like all the way around. So I had to cut it back anyway to get it over the rear suspension bar that goes across, and that's it. So if you have any type of Chevy Cobalt or anything, 05 to 2010, what is it, G6s and all this other stuff to use the same chassis, you're going to have to Sawzall that off. It's just not going to go over it. And it's like right where the bend does this number right here and then shoots back. I should have took pictures, but my phone was running low on juice. It was just I was in a hurry to get over there to do this, and just didn't get any footage of it. But anyway, I wanted to get my exhaust system right. So got a new catalytic converter. We got a new exhaust system from the catalytic converter to the back, which is the catback system. And surprisingly, the catback system came with all flange hardware, all flange gaskets. And the only gasket that I used that I actually bought myself was the catalytic converter, where it mounts up to the exhaust manifold. And that was a perfect fit. So pretty much, I would call it a flawless install. The only thing is I'm going to have to get new rear rubber hanger brackets, because the ones that are on it now are just dated and they're losing their stiffness. So we're going to have to get some new Viagra instilled rubber hanger brackets for the back, because you could tell it's wanting to vibrate up and hit the bumper, because it's a very, very small clearance in between the tailpipe and the exit. Plus, going from a 1.5 inch to a 3.5 inch outlet for the exhaust makes a big difference also. So I'm going to just have to stiffen that up. Other than that, it was a flawless install. Sounds really good. When I'm planed out doing like 70 miles an hour, it's like you're sitting inside of a turboprop airplane. Like, I love the way it, like, I just feel like I'm flying an airplane, the way it sounds. Taking off is a little high pitched for my taste. It doesn't sound bad. I know a lot of people go for that sound. I would have hoped, what do you want out of a 4-cylinder? I would have hoped that the resonator would not have sounded like that. It doesn't, like, once again, it doesn't sound bad, but it's quite obvious that it's not a stock system. You know what I mean? And it's not a Mustang. You know what I mean? It's more of a, it sounds like a pissed off chainsaw. Not even a weed eater. It sounds like a pissed off chainsaw is what it sounds like. And then whenever you get up and it gets, shifted through the gears, then it sounds really good. So anyway, that's what we've been working on. Just pieces and parts, suspension, exhaust. And now I'm at that point where I feel comfortable with everything to where we can get back into the car audio thing. Another reason why I stopped on the car audio thing is because I had some other projects going that kind of diverted my funds over to it. And I do all this stuff just like I've done everything. PC builds, all of it. The aquarium over here we had going on. There's things that I had that I diverted my funds to because I buy it all in pieces and parts. Now, some of it has to be bought up front, like all the 55-gallon fish tank over here, which is absolutely beautiful. Ended up very nice. The fish seem to be okay. They seem to be liking it a lot better. A lot more room to chill, swim back and forth. And I can tell this dude over here, that's his name, this dude, the koi, every now and again he gets into a swimming mood. He takes off one side and he's got this little backflip turn that he does, and he takes off to the other side. And I can tell that he actually would love to have even more room than that. So there you go. So things like that, just holding it up. But I'm at a point now to where I started ordering a bunch of things for the car. Wiring kits, of course, I just posted a video where we have the 0 gauge in. I've got another 100 foot of some OFC speaker wire, some 14 gauge that came in for like doors and rear deck, center fill, and all that good stuff. And for the subwoofers, since I'm not going with like, I don't know, big gigantic subwoofers, we're pretty much going to stick with, unless I find an awesome deal. Now, if I find an awesome deal, then we'll jump up to the 8 gauge. But I believe on the speakers, I'm going to try to either find some 10 or 12 gauge OFC, which is really hard to find for some reason. Right now, we just have the 14, and then we'll change it if we can find it. The main reason being is that these Sundown Audio, these LCS 12s, have the actual spade terminals on them. And so it's really hard, for me anyway. It might be a breeze for everybody else. It's really hard for me to get those soldered onto the spade terminals and wrap it around and actually, jump them to where it's going to go up and then back down as far as your ohm loads are concerned. Because we're going to be coming back down to a 1 ohm load. So I think it'll be 3 up, 3 down to take it from, because they're dual voice coil subwoofers. Very nice sounding subwoofers, by the way. And 6 of them is going to be plenty in there. So I've been buying wire, been buying terminators, been buying, different pieces and parts, battery ends that'll take 0 gauge in, 0 gauge out. There's an actual distribution block that I have that should be perfect for my needs. I'm not 100% on it, but I think it's what I need, and et cetera and so forth. So hardware, accessories is what I'm working on now. Pretty much thinking about it as, what am I going to need to go underneath everything and then build the big stuff, like the deck that the box is actually going to sit on, because the inside of the car is gutted. As far as behind the driver and passenger seat, I took out everything. Brackets, trim, back seat, all that is gone. It's just not in there. As a matter of fact, it was kind of funny. I pulled up at PetSmart. I might have told this story already. If I didn't, it's kind of funny. I pulled up for curbside service when I bought the 55-gallon fish tank. Thing comes in this huge-ass box. People in the apocalypse line outside, waiting to get into PetSmart, started laughing. Multiple people. They were like, that shit ain't going to fit in that car. What's this dude doing? Like, literally, I could hear them say this because my windows were down. They were like that's not going to work. That dude, I opened that door up, and he slid that sucker in. I had to get out and help him. And I picked up on one side of the box that he just, and we shoved it in there and closed the doors. And I was like, ha, see ya. And everybody was like, they didn't think it was going to work. But little did they know, there's no back seat in the Cobalt, in the Defiant. So that was kind of funny. It was one of those have to be there moments. It's like, I wish I had a dash cam that I could have swiveled over and actually looked at their, reaction of me putting this big ass 55-gallon fish tank box and, in the back seat of a Cobalt. It was awesome. Because it's just, I don't know. It's one of those have to be there moments. But the car is gutted out. It's prepared. Starting to get my wires and connectors, etc. and so forth. There's a battery that I'm either going to build or buy from a guy. There's a YouTuber here. I think his name is Tyler. And he's built his channel up pretty damn good. I'm really liking his content that he's putting out lately. Because before, he wasn't doing like any... it was just about, SCAR and audio pipe and all this. And now he's starting to branch out doing tar amps. He started to do tests on Sundown Audio, etc. and so forth. So the guy's doing great. And I'm very, proud to see an up-and-coming YouTuber like come up with the means to do things like this. And one of the things that he did here recently was build a 64 amp hour, 12.8 volt lithium battery bank in a case that looks very professional. It looks like something you would buy from a battery dealer. The only thing I didn't like was the aluminum plates that he used for like the top and the bottom, the plates. It was like, I don't like the gauge that he used. I think those plates need to be thicker, in my opinion anyway. It just don't seem like the amperage would pull through those efficiently. And I may be wrong. I'm not a battery expert. I'm not a lithium battery expert. But I have researched it and looked into it and know that that's what I'm going to end up putting in the car. I'm going to actually have a standard battery to run the car. And then I know you're not supposed to mix them, but since they're 12 volt systems, both of them, you can actually do it that way without any adverse effects. Plus the thing comes with balancers and all this other thing. It's pretty fancy. But anyway, if I build it myself, roughly to be between $450 and $500. All right, I think he did like a total on all of it, and it was like right at $450 for the entire build, which is awesome. Plus, he's going to be building some. He says he's got a bunch more product coming in. He's going to be building them and selling them. So I actually commented on there that I would like to buy one. And if he just so happens, which I know he's not, but if he just so happens to watch this video, I'm serious. I want to buy one. As long as the labor, you don't go, oh, well, I built this battery, so it's going to be $800 now. Fuck that. But if it's going to be, $50 plus shipping, it goes from $450 to $550, even, $600 max, might be able to talk business with you a little bit on that. But I am going to either build one or buy one, depending on what he charges for the labor. So that's going to be going in a car. I have an awesome idea for a battery compartment in the car, because being up under it, crawling around and doing the work that I did on the exhaust system, I had this little filing cabinet. I made a new file to where I was like, my gas tank is way up there. My gas tank is like halfway in the car, everybody. Like literally where the back seat would be, or was. Like people riding in the back seat of my car are sitting on the gas tank. And I know a lot of cars are like that, but you don't really think about those things. And I was like, that's weird. The gas tank is way the hell up there. And then all of this trunk and with a spare tire and all that room down in there, that's exactly what that is. Underneath the car, you just see this big bubble, like a 55-gallon drum area, this deep. And that's so much space, so many ideas that I have for back there as far as, wire management and power management and all that other good stuff that's going to go back there in that compartment. And that will actually allow me to have more room for amp racks and maybe even, the idea that I have for the enclosure. That'll help out with that a bunch. So a bunch of different things going on with Project Defiant, and we're just getting pieces and parts in. That's basically what we're doing right now. Organized toolbox back here that has nothing but car audio stuff in it, whether it's wire cutters, tin snips, wire terminators, ends, you name it, it's in there. And as I get those pieces of parts, it's going to go in this big old red toolbox that I acquired not so long ago. And that's pretty much what I've been doing today, is just organizing, cleaning up, and getting stuff up out of the house. And we also have that Bluetooth project that I want to work on. And I think I totally digressed off of what I was saying about getting the deck put in. I might not even say anything. But I don't really want to go to Lowe's, man. Lowe's, I don't know why. I guess it's because people do have the time to do it, because everybody's laid off or whatever like that. But I don't like going there. People group up. Even in Walmart and places like that, this whole 6-foot distancing thing ain't happening. And that's a completely different video. Matter of fact, that is going to be a different video, because I want to talk about this and why this shit ain't slowing down in some places. But I don't want to go all negative. This is just an update video. And since I got to keep up with T2 anyway, I do need to make another video on that, huh? Of course. I'm not trying to keep up with anybody. I'm just making videos, everybody, just like the next person. So there we go. I think I'm going to end it there. Plus, I still have an Ultra Saber that I want to build. So, pieces of parts, everybody. Some of it's just bulk. You just bite the bullet. But I want to shift gears over back into the car audio thing, because it's that time of the year to get outside. Weather has been absolutely gorgeous. I don't know where you live, but oh my gosh, down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, holy crap. Wow, we couldn't ask for better weather. Like today, humidity's running, low, nice breezes happening, sun is shining. I'm not sweating like a Hebrew. Oh, wait, I better not say that. I'm not sweating like a judge on election day, etc. and so forth. So, yeah, it's just been awesome. And I want more of it. Of course, alas, reality is going to strike here in the next week or so, because our store is going to be opening back up. But I am still grateful that they're keeping us on the payroll and keeping us paid, because I am making more than on my job than I would be on unemployment, I think. Not 100% on that, but I think. Unless I got that extra $600, and in that case, I wish they would have laid me off. But I'm grateful to be still employed. Woo! Now it's time to get something to drink, because my throat's getting kind of dry. So I'm going to end it here. Project Defiant update. There you go. It's a craft of the mind. Go out there and have some fun. Woo!